We had done the first kind of auxiliary verb, that's the principal auxiliaries. Now we look at the second kind of auxiliary verb, that is the modal auxiliaries. So that's the second one. The second one is modal auxiliaries. Modal auxiliaries. Okay? The second type. The second kind of auxiliary verb. Now, in the second kind of auxiliary verb, we have verbs like shall. We have shall, should. Shall, should. Then we have will. We have will, would. Then we have can, could. Can, could. Then we have may, might. I may come, may, might. Then we have must and ought. Must, ought. Ought. Then we have need, dare, need, dare, used. Okay. In the second type, modal auxiliaries, we have verbs like shall, should, may, might, will, would, must, ought, can, could, need, dare, used. Okay. Now each of these, we look at it. Each of these, how is it used in the sentence construction? Okay. Now, what is this modal auxiliary? The modal auxiliaries do not change with the number of the person or subject. They do not change. They cannot be used in continuous sentences. We use modals to express our mood, manners, and attitudes. So let's look at the modal auxiliaries. What are we looking at? Modal auxiliaries do not change. That we have to remember. So we have to say the modal auxiliaries, the modal auxiliaries do not change. They do not change with the number. With the number. Do not change with the number or person. Or person of the subject. Of the subject. They cannot be used in continuous sentences. They, that is this auxiliary, modal auxiliaries, they cannot. They cannot be used in continuous sentences. Continuous sentences. They cannot be used in continuous sentences. We use models to express our moods. Express our moods. Manners. And attitudes. Okay, let's look at what do we mean by model auxiliaries. Now, the model auxiliaries we are talking about. Model auxiliaries do not change with the numbers or person of the subject. They cannot be used continuously. Okay, continuous in continuous sentences. Now, where do we use? We use models to express our moods, manners, and attitude. In these places, we use model auxiliaries. All right? Now let's look at all the verbs I had put down for you. Shall, should, will, would, can, could, may, might, mights, must, ought, need, dare, used, all these. We're going to use it in the sentence form. Now, use of shall and will. So now we're going to look at very clearly the use of shall and will. Shall, very important, shall and will. The model auxiliary, we are going to look at the usage of shall, will. How is it used in the sentence? Now, shall is used to denote simple future time in the first person. So we are first looking at shall, the use of shall. Okay, let's look at only shall. Now, where is this shall used? Shall is used to denote. Okay. Shall is used to denote. Shall is used to denote simple future time. Simple future time. Future time. In the first person. In the first person. All right. Shall is used to denote simple future time. Okay? In the first person. Okay, now let's look at the sentences. Now, I shall go. Used in the simple future tense in the first person. I, first person, and future time. I shall go. I shall go. You are thinking of going, you will be going future. I shall go. Okay? Then, I shall help her. First person, okay? I shall help her. Future time, okay? I shall help her. Shall. I shall help her. Okay, now let's look at another sentence. We shall be late. I shall go. I shall help her. We shall be late. We shall be late. Next we have, we shall pass. We shall pass. We shall pass. We are looking at the model auxiliaries. We are looking at only the single verb shall. And the model auxiliaries do not change with the numbers or persons of the subject. Okay, so here it is I, here it is we, one, many. They cannot be used in continuous sentences. The shall is not used in continuous sentences. We use this model auxiliaries to express our mood, manners, or attitude. Now, I shall go. We shall be late. We shall pass. I shall help her. Okay, so the shall is used to denote simple future time. We shall be late, future time. We shall pass, future. I shall go. I shall help her. So it does not, the verb shall does not change whether it's one person or many persons. Okay, now we will look at each of these verbs in the usage of sentences. We saw how shall is used in the first place. Now we are going to look at shall used in the second and third person to express one, a promise, second, a command, a threat, or a determination. So in the four categories, shall is used in the second and third person. So that's what we are looking at. We are looking at shall is used in the second and the third persons, second and third persons. To express. To express different things. We are talking about, we are looking at shall, the word shall. It is used in the second and the third persons to express various things like one, a promise. Okay, so one, we are talking about a promise. We are talking about one, a promise as, okay, we are making promise. Then we use shall. You shall be paid tomorrow. So we are making promise. When they promise someone, don't worry, you will be paid. Huh? You're making a promise. So, in the promise, you will say, you shall be paid tomorrow. You shall be, you shall be paid tomorrow. Okay, here let's look at the shall. You shall be paid tomorrow. You're using it, you, second person. You shall be paid tomorrow. You shall receive a prize. Now the sentence is, you shall. You shall receive a prize. You shall receive a prize. Okay. You shall receive a prize. You shall be paid tomorrow. Let's look at first place. Then, let us look at in the third person, he shall be promoted if he works hard. He shall be. He shall be promoted. He shall be promoted if he works hard. If. He shall be promoted if he works hard. Okay, shall. Again, shall. Now, let's look at another sentence here. They shall get their money back. And here we have they, third person. They shall. They shall get their money. Their money back. Now, shall. We are looking at the usage of shall in the second and third persons. Okay. Second and you shall be paid tomorrow. You shall receive a prize. He shall be promoted if he works hard. They shall get their money back. Now that is as promise. In the second one, let us say in the second one, it is not promise, it's a command. We have a command. In the command, let's see how shall is used. Okay, when it is command, you will say, you shall not steal. You are commanding someone. You shall not steal. Okay? You shall not steal. Then you say, you shall obey my orders. You shall. You shall obey my orders. Okay, shall. Look at that. You shall obey my orders. You shall not steal. It's a command. Then we have, ye shall go there. Being commanding, he shall go there. Go there. And then you have, they shall do as I tell them. They shall do They shall do as I tell them. You shall obey them, obey my orders. They shall do as I tell them. You shall not steal. He shall go there. All commands. We have 4 categories of commands. Okay? So, the model auxiliaries used in the second and third persons as command. And now let's look at the third type. We have a threat. The first is a promise. The second is a command. Third, a threat. When you're threatening somebody. Now, as threat, let's see what are we as threat. The model auxiliary, how is it used? Okay. Now, here we have, you shall be dismissed if you disobey your boss. You shall be dismissed. You shall be dismissed. You shall be dismissed if you disobey your boss. If you disobey your boss. Okay, you shall be dismissed if you disobey your boss. Then we have, he shall be fined for telling lies. He shall be fined. The next we have, he shall be fined. He shall be fined for telling lies. For telling lies. He shall be fined for telling lies. Shall. Next, we have the officer shall be punished. The officer shall be punished. Shall be punished. Now, we have the fourth category of shall in the model auxiliary, and that's for determination. The fourth is determination. When you're talking about determination, how is shall used? Determination, and how is the shall used? Let's see. Okay. You shall go at once. Huh? You shall go at once. You shall go. You shall go at once. That's one. And then we have, he shall go with you. 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 Next we have, they shall obey us whether they like it or not. They shall obey us. They shall obey us. They shall obey us whether they like it or not. Whether they like it or not. They like it or not. Now, they shall obey. Now, we are looking at the model auxiliaries. We got 4 different categories in the model auxiliary, the usage of shall. Okay. Now, shall is used in the second and the third person to express one, a promise, second, a command, third, a threat, and finally, determination. In these 4 categories, how is shall used? That's what we are looking at in the model auxiliaries. As a promise, you see, you shall be paid, making a promise. You shall be paid tomorrow. He shall be promoted if he works hard. You shall receive a prize. They shall get their money back. Commanding someone, you shall not steal. He shall go there. You shall obey my order. They shall do as I say. A threat. Shall is used in threat as you shall be dismissed if you disobey your boss. The officer shall be punished. He shall be fined for telling lies. Finally, determination. You shall go at once. They shall obey us whether they like it or not. He shall go with you. So, the model auxiliaries, we have 4 categories. 1 a promise, the usage of shall in promise, 1 in the second in the command, 3rd in the threat, and 4th in the determination. How shall is used as auxiliary verb.